Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the HKTV Monster Jam League and our first event on the Arena Tour. If you were here for our first stops in Stadium Tour Blue and Stadium Tour Red, you know it's been nothing but exciting shows so far, and our lineup here today is going to try to keep it the same. Starting out, we have Jeremy Castillo and Gravedigger, Jayden Perez and Scooby-Doo, Tristan Livdahl and Max D, Trent Phung and Kraken, B-RyeTheGameGuy and Jester, Armando Barbaosa and Earthshaker, Derek Kollar and Zombie, and Colt Durham and Velociraptor. Here is how round one of racing will stack up. We'll have Earthshaker taking on Velociraptor, Gravedigger and Scooby-Doo, Max D taking on Jester, and finally Kraken going up against Zombie. Up for our first race of round one, we have Colt Durham and Velociraptor going head to head with Armando Barbaosa and Earthshaker. Let's see what these drivers have for our first race of the night as they get going. Great start for both drivers. Dead even coming across the line the first time they go into the final corner. Earthshaker with a slight advantage, and it's Armando Barbaosa with the win. A 10.283 time for Earthshaker, beating out Velociraptor. An exciting first race to get us underway. Next up for race number two, we have Jeremy Castillo and Gravedigger taking on Jayden Perez and Scooby-Doo. Let's see if race number two will be just as exciting as number one. And off they go, Gravedigger with a huge jump on Scooby-Doo. Giant lead so far, and I don't see Scooby-Doo making this one up, and it's not going to happen. Gravedigger is going to take the win. A commanding lead throughout the entire race, and it ends up with the win for the Black and Green Wrecking Machine. Up next, we'll see Trent Phung in Kraken taking on Derek Kollar and Zombie. Let's see what these drivers have for us in race number three. Off they go. Great start off the line for Kraken. He's going to have the slight advantage going into the final corner. Zombie making up some ground, though, making it exciting. And Kraken barely edges him out for the victory. An incredible race there. It looked like it was all Kraken, but Zombie made it exciting at the end. But still, Kraken is your winner. And for our final race of round number one, we have Tristan Livdahl and Max D going up against B-RyeTheGameGuy and Jester. Let's see if another exciting race is heading our way. We've had some good ones so far. Off they go. Good start for both trucks. Max D with a really fast corner coming out. He's got the lead heading into the final turn. Jester getting a little wild. It's all Max D going across the line. And all the way, it was Maximum Destruction there for the victory. That's going to end round one of racing. 4 exciting races, and it should be nothing but the same moving forward. And here is how our racing bracket will stack up. We'll have Earthshaker taking on Gravedigger and Max D taking on Kraken here in the semifinals. Let's see who's going to come out on top and punch their ticket to the final round. Lining up Gravedigger and Earthshaker. Off they go. Good jump for both trucks. Dead even going over the line into the final corner. Gravedigger gets a slight edge. Earthshaker makes it up and takes the win. Wow, what an incredible race. We'll go ahead and check the replay here so you can see just how close this one was. Earthshaker barely edging out the victory. What a great start for the semifinals. Let's move on. On to our second race. It'll be Max D taking on Kraken. Both trucks had a fast round one. Max D with a jump off the line. Slight lead for Max D heading into the final corner. Let's see if Kraken can make it up. And he will! Gets across the line. We'll have to go to the replay to make sure. But I believe, and yes, Kraken is your winner. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 exciting races here in the semifinals. Let's hope the final round will be the same. As we see here, both drivers staring each other down, ready for this final race. It'll be Earthshaker taking on Kraken. We've had nothing but incredible races so far, and the final should be nothing but the same. Armando Barbaosa has been fast all night in Earthshaker. He wants to keep that going. Both these trucks in the semifinals, Trent Phung and Armando Barbaosa, had incredible runs where they came back in the final corner Let's see if they can make something happen here. Off they go. They look dead even coming out of the first corner, and they are going into the final turn. Earthshaker hits the gas, and it's going to be all Armando Barbaosa. Earthshaker is going to take the win with the fastest time of the night. An incredible run for Earthshaker after an exciting event of racing. Armando Barbaosa is your winner. Wow, what an incredible racing event. I couldn't imagine it being any better than that. As we look at our point standings after the first event, it's going to start with Earthshaker with 8, Kraken with 7, Gravedigger with 6, Max D with 5, Zombie with 4, Velociraptor with 3, Jester with 2, and Scooby-Doo rounding it out with 1. All right, moving on to a two-wheel skills. Colt Durham and Velociraptor is going to be our first driver out. Let's see what he has. Going into the nose wheelie. Brings it back for the moonwalk. Up and over, brings the truck down. Oh, pops up the rear end. Look at this. And able to save it. What a first hit there for Velociraptor. Let's see if the second one will be just as exciting. Looks like he's going to go for the bicycle here. Brings it down on the sidewalls for the donut. Look at this. Can he pull it out for the save? On one wheel and up on the roof. Unable to pull out the save, but still an incredible hit there for Velociraptor. And a solid score for the first truck out in 8.731. That should hold up pretty well going forward in the competition. Next up, our second truck out, Jayden Perez and Scooby-Doo. Had a slightly disappointing racing performance. Gonna want to change it here in two-wheel skills. A nice wheelie walking it across. Sets the truck down a little earlier than he would have wanted, I'd imagine. But still a solid first hit to come out and set the pace. What can he do here on the second hit? Lining up now. Scooby-Doo going for the stop. He gets it. Uh-oh, over-rotates and on his lid. Not what he wanted there, but a score of 8.012, still not bad. Nothing to scoff at for our second truck out. Next out will be B-RyeTheGameGuy in Jester. Did not have the racing performance that he wanted. Wants to do something here in two-wheel skills. Ooh, it looks like he's in a bit of trouble here. See what he does. Is he going to get out of it? No, he's just going to go ahead and take his hit from here. Goes up into the stoppie. Brings it back for the moonwalk. Up and over. Pops it up on the rear end for the wheelie. And walks it out. A solid combo here. And sets the truck down. A good first hit for Jester. Not the most exciting one we've seen all night, but still solid nonetheless. Let's see what he can do next. Don't know what he's lining up for. Throws the truck into reverse. Ooh, and look at this. Throws it into a power wheelie. Powers it out and puts it down. You got to think he wanted to combo that up with something. Did not get the truck to go where he wanted, but still a score of 8.501. Not too bad and good enough to put him in second place moving forward. Next up, Derek, Kollar, and Zombie. Seen some solid hits so far from our trucks that have come out. Let's see what he can lay down here for these fans. Looks like he might be going for the popper here. He will. Pops up the rear end nicely. Walks it out for the wheelie now. Walks the truck across the pod. Sets it down into the stoppie. And goes for the moonwalk and pops the front end back up. But all four of his tires did hit the ground. So that's going to end that first hit. Still a solid first hit there for Zombie. He definitely wanted to keep that going longer, so we'll see if he takes out a little frustration on this second hit. Zombie lines up, goes. Look at this. Might be going to pop it up into a stoppie. He will. Walks the truck back into a moonwalk now. Solid combo up over the ramp on one tire and sets it down. Look at this. Into a wheelie. And sets it back down. A solid hit there for Zombie. And it's good enough for a new leader with a score of 8.957. A solid run there for Zombie. And after half of our trucks have come out, here is how the bracket lines up. Zombie in first place with that 8.957. Velociraptor close behind with an 8.731. Jester right behind him with an 8.501. And rounding out the pack so far, Scooby-Doo with an 8.012. Next up is going to be Tristan Livdahl and Max D. He's seen some solid performances so far here in skills. He knows he's going to have to lay something special down to take that lead. Setting up for his first hit now. Oh, tries to pop up the rear end, doesn't get it. Reverses back up the ramp here. I think they're going to go ahead and count that as one hit. Did not get what he wanted. And let's see if on this second hit he can make something happen. Going for the bicycle now. Gets it on the sidewalls. Going for the sidewall donut. Spins it around into the wall. Not what he wanted. And it reflects on the scoreboard. A 7.938. Not enough to get anywhere near our lead. And definitely not what Max D wanted. Up next, Jeremy Castillo in Gravedigger. Had a good racing performance, but wants to come out here and take the win in skills. Let's see if he can make it happen. Looks like he might be lining up for the bicycle here, trying to get in perfect position. Stomps on the gas, pulls out the bicycle on the sidewalls now, goes over for the donut. Let's see if he can save it. And able to put the truck back down after a couple rotations. A nice first hit here for Gravedigger. And now look at this, setting up for his second move here in reverse. And here he goes, pops up the rear end, walks it out into a nose wheelie, brings it back into a moonwalk. Oh, can he keep it going? Pops up the front end into a slight wheelie, but sets the truck back down. You got to think he wanted to combo that up a little bit more, but still, nonetheless, a 9.033 and a new leader for Gravedigger. Trent Phung in Kraken now. Comes out in a quick stoppy. Pulls it back now. Oh, keeps it on the pod. Look at the finesse here. Oh, look at this. Wow, what a move from Kraken on his first hit. Going for the bicycle now. Pops it up. Oh, on the nose on one tire. Sets it back down. Who able to save it. A good run for Kraken, but not enough to take first place. Only a score 8.993. And Gravedigger is still our leader. Last but not least, Armando Barbaosa and Earthshaker. Our racing winner. Seeing if he can follow up that performance here in two-wheel skills. Pops it up for the stoppie now. Goes for the moonwalk. Let's see if he can take it all the way up the ramp. Solid control here from Earthshaker. Walks it all the way back now to the middle of the pod. Ooh, gets a little wild. Able to bring it back though. Does not want to settle that truck back down yet. Look at this. The amount of finesse this first hit is taking is insane. Settles the truck back down. And you got to think that's going to score high for the judges. Can he follow that up with a good second hit, though? That's what's going to be all about. Looks like he's lining up for the bicycle. And he does. He will get the bicycle. Same as everybody else. Sets it on the sidewall. Stomps on the gas. And settles it back down. Not as exciting as when Gravedigger did it. And it's going to reflect in the scoreboard in 8.685. Still a solid run there from Earthshaker, but not good enough for the lead. And after skills, this is how the scores came out. Gravedigger is your winner with a 9.033. Followed by Kraken with an 8.993. Zombie with an 8.957. Velociraptor with an 8.731, Earthshaker with an 8.685, Jester with an 8.501, Scooby-Doo with an 8.012, and rounding out the pack, Max D with a 7.993. And here's how the points will stack up after our first two competitions. Gravedigger is our leader with 14 in a tie with Kraken, who also has 14. Earthshaker comes in with 12 after them. Zombie with 10. Velociraptor with 8. Max D with 6. Jester with 5. And Scooby-Doo rounds out the pack with 3. All right, moving on to Freestyle. Up first is B-RyeTheGameGuy and Jester. Didn't have a solid racing performance. Made up for it a little bit in skills. Now wants to come out and lay down a good freestyle. And there he goes, starting his run with some solid air. The hardest thing to do today is going to be able to keep your momentum up on this track with such a small floor. Going to be huge if a driver can string together multiple hits back to back. Jester trying to keep up that momentum I was just talking about. Some nice solid air there. And oh, look out, a little wild on the landing. And into the wall he goes. Not what he wanted. A score of 7.032 ends his run much earlier than he would have wanted. Moving on now to our second driver here in Freestyle, Jayden Perez and Scooby-Doo. Wastes no time getting his freestyle started. Gets sideways on the landing, able to pull it out. A wild start here for Scooby-Doo. Stomps on the gas, up over the pod now. Scooby-Doo trying to keep that momentum up. I was just talking about it. Nice sky wheelie here. You gotta admire how he's staying on the gas, getting these moves back-to-back consecutively as fast as he can. That's what's going to be all about. Get as much in as you can in this short time. And Scooby-Doo with a great job so far. Look at the wheelie. Oh, look out. Get sideways. And able to pull out a save. What a save there for Scooby-Doo. Jayden Perez putting on a great run so far. Oh, and look out, a wild landing and over on the roof just as I say it. A score of 7.874 for Scooby-Doo. Good enough for the lead now, but you have to think that won't stand for too long. Next up, Trent Phung in Kraken. Just has to come out and fill the clock, you have to think. Neither of our first two drivers were able to do so. So if he can do it, you have to think it'll give him the lead. And that's going to start his run there with some nice air and a solid transfer to the other side of the pod. Let's see if he can keep it up here. Ooh, pops up the rear end, sets it back down. Exciting move so far for Kraken. Oh, but gets in a little bit of trouble, has to reverse. The judges aren't going to like the fact that he had to reverse out of that. Let's see if he can make up for it going forward. He had some nice, solid momentum to start his run, but then it kind of got grinded to a halt. Look at this wild takeoff. Look out! Over on its lid, into the wall. And that is going to end it for Kraken. A score of 7.463. Next up, Derek Kollar in Zombie. Once again, you have to think if he can come out here and fill the clock, it's going to go a long way on the scorecard. It might even propel him into first place. Starting out the run now with some nice, easy air. Slow and steady could be the winner of the race here. There's some solid air from Zombie. Keeps it going down to a big sky wheelie. Let's see if he can keep the momentum up. That's what it's all about. Driving smart, but keeping that momentum, keeping that foot on the gas, keeping the fans excited. Oh, over he goes on the sidewalls and brings it back down for a save. And a wild landing here. Able to bring it down. What finesse. He's got 35 seconds left and a solid run so far. If he can finish this one out, you got to think he's going to take the lead. Has to reverse here. But after the run he's had, it might not hurt him too bad if he can get back on the gas. And he will with some solid air. He's got about 15 seconds remaining now. What can he do with it? Nice and easy up over to the other side. He's lining up. Might be going for the backflip here. He is. And he gets it. What a run for Zombie. You have to imagine that's going to take the lead as he stands it up here. Look out. Over on the lid he goes. Oh, pulls it back in. And a great run for Zombie. A score of 9.169 is going to propel him into first place. Rightfully so, after such an incredible run. Up next, Colt Durham in Velociraptor. Let's see what he can do after seeing Zombie put on such a great performance. Starts off the run with some solid air. Brings it back around, trying to keep that momentum up. Some more nice air. Ooh, has to step on the brakes there to avoid the wall. Good job doing it, though. Able to keep the run going. He's got to throw some variation in now, though. You can't just keep hitting the same thing over and over again. He's got solid air. He's got the momentum, but he's got to change it up. He's looking to do it here with some big sky wheelie air. Look at that Velociraptor turning it up now. Easy landing on the pod, brings it back down the other side. Goes now into the Cyclone Donut. Just a short one, brings it back out. Nice sky wheelie. Keeps the combo going into a nose wheelie. And settles the truck back down. And now he's going for the backflip. The rotation slightly over-rotates, but saves it and keeps the run going. What a move for Velociraptor. And now he's just going wild, hammered down. And that is going to end his run, a score of 8.869. Not good enough to take the lead, but a great run nonetheless. Next up is Tristan Livdahl and Max D. The competition's starting to heat up a little bit now. Let's see if he can add to the fire with some nice air to start his run. Comes back to the other side, some more big air. You got to play it safe here. You want to send it sometimes when you're hitting these jumps, but with such a small area to work with, you got to think about keeping your run going, not going too big too soon. That's what it's all about here in these arena shows. And look at the power wheelie from Max D there. A bit of a wild takeoff, settles the truck back down nicely though. You can have those wild moments. It's all about throttle control. It's all about watching where you are in the stadium, and look at that air. It might be the biggest distance we've seen all night from any of our drivers. Max D putting on a great run so far. Pops up the rear end, settles it back down, and keeps it going. Now going for the backflip. Nearly perfect rotation. Sets it back down and keeps the run going. See what he can do here. Doesn't want to get caught in no man's land. You want to do something. He's got to keep the momentum up. He's had a solid run so far. Look at this wild takeoff. And able to pull out the save. What an incredible save there for Max D. Oh, look out. Another wild takeoff. Over on the lid. Rolls it over. Barrels the truck and settles it back down. That's going to end his run. And it gives us a new leader with a score of 9.184. What a run there from Max D. Next up is Armando Barbaosa and Earthshaker. He's had a solid night so far, looking to keep it going with a good freestyle run here. He's seen a lot of good runs come out before him, though. He's going to have to really put on something spectacular to wow these judges. And there he goes, getting started with some nice air. Great transfer to the other side, too. Some nice smooth landing, able to keep the run going. And it's all going to be about momentum. I've been saying it all night. Let's see if he can do it. Big air there. Earthshaker pops up the front end into a nice slap wheelie. Brings it back down. Good run so far. Good momentum. He might have to pick it up a little bit more here. Be able to make something happen. Get some variation. And that's the variation we're looking for. Into a stoppie. Brings it back for the moonwalk. Up and over the ramp, pops up the front end now. Oh, tries not to over-rotate. He won't. Brings it back down and settles it down. What a move there by Earthshaker. Able to keep the run going. That's the excitement we were looking for. Now for some more excitement. Going for the backflip and a twist on it. Able to bring it down. Keep it going. What a run so far from Armando Barbaosa. And now with some big air. Wild landing, gets a little sideways, but pops up the front end for a wheelie. And look at this, slaps down the front end. Tries to go for a moonwalk, doesn't get it, but keeps the momentum going. Pops up the rear end, goes for the moonwalk. Now look at this. Look at the finesse from Armando Barbaosa and Earthshaker. Settles it right on top of the pod. That is a photo op if I've ever seen one. Up on one tire now. And settles it back down. What a run from Earthshaker. Not good enough for the lead, but good enough for second place with a score of 9.158. Up next, Jeremy Castillo and Gravedigger. Has to be wondering what he has to do to come out here and take the lead. We've seen incredible performance after incredible performance, and he's going to have to put down the same exact thing. Starts us off now, nice and easy. We've seen how important filling the clock is tonight as well. Got to have that in the back of his mind. Wants to go big just like that. Can't go too big too early, but moves like that are going to count a lot towards his score. Now he just has to keep the momentum up. Pops up the front end, nice and easy over the pod again. Goes back, might be looking for more big air, and he gets more big air. Pops up the front end, walks it out. Oh, look out, in a little bit of trouble on the sidewalls and settles it down. What a save for Gravedigger. And keeps it going with some air. After a save like that, you have to think now's when he turns it up. Now's when he kicks it into another gear and makes this run insane. We're getting into a little bit of trouble in the corner there. He's got to get out of there. Got to keep the momentum up. Looking to go for the backflip now. Nice rotation. Brings down the backflip. Look at this. Walks it down to a bit of a moonwalk. Keeps it going. Pops it up for a nice wheelie. Settles the truck back down. A good combo there for Gravedigger. Now into a donut. Brings it back out for some nice air there again. Nice and easy. Pops up the rear end. Into a nose wheelie. Stops it. Walks it back for the moonwalk now. What another combo here from Gravedigger. It's going to count big on the scoreboard. Haven't seen too many of them tonight. And that is going to end the run for Gravedigger. And it's going to be a new leader. The score of 9.236. Jeremy Castillo and Gravedigger with a great run. Your winner, Jeremy Castillo and Gravedigger with a 9.236. Followed up by Max D with a 9.184. Zombie with a 9.169. Earthshaker with a 9.158. Velociraptor with an 8.869. Scooby-Doo with a 7.847. Kraken with a 7.463. And rounding it out, Jester with a 7.032. And after our first stop here on the Arena Tour, this is how the points will shake up. Gravedigger's your leader with 22, Earthshaker with 17, Zombie and Kraken with 16, Max D with 13, Velociraptor with 12, and Scooby-Doo and Jester both tied with 6.